Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. Today in our shaky cam interior review, we're looking at the 2015 Land Rover Discovery Sport. This is just a great vehicle on many levels. There are a few things that I don't like, but they're pretty minor compared to the things that I like. So let's get started right away. Over here, you'll see they have the window controls up on the sill. That is a big pet peeve of mine. I really don't like that. There's a few other vehicles, Toyota RAV4 and some others that do that, and I find it exceedingly annoying because you reach way up here to run the windows, and also when the window's down, it's just begging to get water and snow and whatever else all over it. Down here you have the seat memory settings. Here's the door locks, and here of course is the door latch and door handle. You can see this is an upfit package. It has some chrome accents and dual tone leather and soft touch materials. Down in here you have the rear hatch. Here's your lane keeping control. I'll talk about that in a minute because the way they do it, the way that Land Rover's done it here is very cool. I really like it. And then of course your dimmer switch. And down under here is your, or down there I should say, is your hood latch. So coming back up here, when we get to the instrument cluster, I'll point out something else too, because I'll have to start it up again. So over here you have audio controls and stuff. This right here actually controls the menu up there. And then over here you have your modes and phone and whatnot. Paddle shifting, of course, and here is your lighting controls. And then this controls the trip computer up there. Coming over here we have is it going to focus? There we go. Over here, this is a new phone, by the way, different camera. So anyway, here you have your steering heating, your cruise control. Most of it should be pretty obvious. This right here is a speed limiter. So normally you have cruise control automatically on, so it's already ready to go. You just have to set it at any time. Then, or you can push the button and switch it over to speed limiter, which lets you set a speed that is the maximum the vehicle can go while you're driving, so that if you lead foot or whatever through, like, say, a 45-mile-an-hour zone, and you, in order to keep yourself from going over that, you can set it at 45, and then your throttle won't, you can push the throttle and it won't matter. You'll stay underneath 45 miles an hour. It sounds like a gimmick, but once you've used it, it's actually really, really cool. It's very useful, and for those of us that have kind of a heavy right foot, it's a good way to keep out of trouble. Over here you have your washer wipers. This controls the squirter in the back, and then of course you have your washer wipers, pull it forward, blah, blah, blah. And then the other side of the paddle shifting. Now, we're looking at the instrument cluster here. I'm going to start it up and turn off the radio. Sorry about that. All right, what we're looking at here is your speedometer and tachometer. Then you have your fuel gauge here, and you can change what's being shown. What you see here is it's telling me, tire pressure monitoring and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll just press OK and I'll clear it. Then I'll see some other stuff. So you can change what's going on in here with that menu button that we were looking at. Kind of neat. And right now its default setting is to show you, here's your eco mode, your driving. These go in various shades of orange and green depending on how well you're doing. So this is how your foot's doing. This is how your cruise settings are doing with you keeping on it, and so forth. And then this shows the speed limit on the road you're on. Since we're in a private driveway, there is no speed limit. But anyway, that's the general idea here. And then what I want to point out is when you're driving, I'm going to back up a little. When you're driving and you have that, you see that's the lane keeping there. If you're inside the lanes driving, the two lines turn green, right? they turn back to gray if you start wandering over them. And then what happens is, if you're wandering over on the left side, then this side of the steering wheel vibrates a little. It's the same feeling you would get if you ran over the rumble strips on the side of the highway. And then works on the other side. So if you're going over on the right, does the same here. And then it doesn't do it, of course, if you run the turn signals and turn. Very cool, because it's just sort of intuitive. You know, we're used to the idea that when we run over one of the lines, we're probably going to run over some rumble strips, and it's gonna vibrate the car a little bit so that we know that we've gone over them. And this just mimics that, and it's very cool because it's not intrusive. It doesn't, you know, it's not in your face. It's not beeping at you. It's not making a bunch of noise. It's great stuff. I really like that. Very cool feature. I would like to see that used more often in more vehicles. I have seen Ford's vibrating seat thing. I think it's, no, maybe it's GM that does that. Anyway, the vibrating seat thing is okay, but it's kind of annoying. But it's the same idea, and it's a good one, because we're already kind of programmed to know what the rumbling is, right? So it just uses that and reinforces it. Very, very cool. Now over here, this is push button start, and I have climate on. I probably didn't need to. I'm just going to turn the car off so I don't have to worry about all that. This car has automatic stop start, so we'll get to that in a second, but it shuts the engine off at stoplights. And one feature that takes a minute to get used to, but then you get used to it and it's pretty cool, and then you drive another car and you forget that it doesn't have it, is when you stop, like I was. See, I pulled into the driveway here, and then I set up the camera, and as soon as I put the vehicle in park in the driveway, it shut the engine off. If I go up and push the button to stop the engine, it actually turns it on again instead. So it takes a second to get used to that, but after a while you get used to the idea of just pulling in, turning it into park, and getting out. No more, no touching any buttons. It does the same with the park brake. We'll get to that some more in a second here. Over here you have your home screen buttons, and more over here. Most of these are fairly obvious. This is your rear view camera, so you can turn on the camera to see what's going on back there. This is your park assist, turn it on and off. Go to the home, which is what this screen is. Over here you can change your modes. You can jump to music, jump to phone, and so on. And then this is a touchscreen interface. Most of it is pretty straightforward. It's not the best on the market, but it's not the worst either. This is not quite the same as the Jaguar. You remember we had the Jaguar XJL. Land Rover and Jaguar are the same company now. Jaguar Land Rover is actually the name. And but they're not quite using the same software. It's not the same user interface. So anyway, going down, here's your vents. This is the audio. This is, you turn it on and off pushing it. This is the volume, hazard lights, of course. And then you have some buttons here. You see it has heated seating, and then here's some air control, climate controls right here. Pretty easy to use, actually. This system's pretty straightforward. Nothing really special has to be known. Down here is the stop start. You can toggle it. So you can turn it off if you don't want it, or you can turn it on if you want it. I had it off in the beginning, and then I turned it on and left it on since. And I enjoy it. It improves fuel efficiency just a little bit, and more than that, it just, you get used to, like I said, you get used to the engine shutting itself off. This is for eco mode. You remember up there it had the little foot pedal things. This is what controls that. You can turn eco mode off, or you can just shift into sport and it goes away. Here's your off-road settings. This is a Land Rover, so you have your standard driving around is right here. This is for snow. Then you have kind of hard trail, harsh trail stuff, and then there's no trail at all. The off-road that I did this week, I didn't do anything extremely hardcore, but I did use this mode to bounce around some trails around here in Pine Bluffs, and this is a very, very capable off-road machine. Here, of course, you have hill descent and your traction control. Now your shifter. When the car is off, the shifter's flush. When I start the car back up, it pops up. And there's the radio again. For those of you who don't know, that was Guns N' Roses. So this is the shifter, just a standard, twist it to shift. Pretty simple. Here is your park. Let me turn that off again. Here is your park brake. It's electronic. One feature this car does is when you put on the park brake and you're sitting, when you shift into gear, either reverse or drive, the park brake automatically shuts off, automatically releases, so you don't have to reach down and do this. Here is the cover for the drink holders. This one pops out, gives you some extra space down here, kind of your hidey hole, for your legal or illegal stuff, I guess. Here's your USB port here, and then you have more ports here. You see that? Aux, more, there's your 12 volt, there's another USB, and excuse me, small cubby. Good enough size for most things, but you won't shove your purse or your bag or anything in there. Over here we have more of the dashboard. You see this cool little indent. This is non-slip inside, so you can throw things in there and they won't come flying out at you. Then you have this lovely kind of a tan cream leather, very pretty. One thing I will note, this came with a sales brochure that doesn't actually fit in here. This is a little too wide for the box, so I blame that on the British adding extra letters to their words all the time. It's color, not color. Sorry. Anyway, and then just see the interior, very, very pretty. These are great seats, by the way. Beautifully done, perforated leather, just very, very well done. They're very comfortable and highly adjustable in this package. Back here, we have the back seats, and then you have a very large, good-sized cargo area. This is it's a mid-sized crossover. It's just the right size for a family of four. Very nicely done, and very posh. This is a nice highway ride. Despite its off-road prowess, this is a very nice highway ride. One last thing, going up, I want you to look at the panoramic roof. It goes way back past the back seats. Very, very nice. One big glass screen. You can thank aluminum architecture. There's another word they put an extra letter in. So that's it. For Aaron on Autos.com, this has been the 2015 Land Rover Discovery Sport. Talk to you again soon.